After 3 years of deep freeze diplomacy and geopolitical friction, the stage is finally set for a historic reset. This week, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney touches down in India, marking the first official visit by a Canadian leader since the 2023 fallout. But this isn't just a courtesy call. From the corridors of New Delhi to the financial hubs of Mumbai, the expectations are soaring for a turning point in bilateral trade and security ties. The primary mission? Injecting fresh energy into a partnership that was once on the brink of collapse. With India emerging as the world's fastest growing major economy and Canada looking to diversify beyond its heavy reliance on the US market, the economic logic for a reconciliation is undeniable. Market experts suggest that the timing couldn't be more critical.
Well, I think we expect from an EDC standpoint the continuation of our bilateral efforts from a trade perspective. There's already a lot of trade that is happening between Canada and India. What we expect, therefore, through this visit of our Prime Minister in India would be to further grow that trade. Not only just grow the trade, but also smoothen the flow of the trade in terms of clearing up of any of the requirements to freely trade between the countries. So free trade agreements is something that over time we expect that to happen and have a bilateral kind of an agreement that further intensifies the ability to have a more smoother trade between the two countries. So, that is a continuous journey of supplying minerals. So Canada has a vast resource of minerals, both on minerals as well as energy needs on oil and gas. So Canada can be seen as a more stable partner and a more consistent partner in supplying to India those essential minerals and the energy needs that India needs for its growing demand as well as growing population.
Beyond merchandise, a major deliverable on the table is energy. Under India's new Shanti Act of 2025, New Delhi is aggressively expanding its nuclear sector. Canada, a global uranium powerhouse, sees a massive opportunity here. We could see the conclusion of a long-term uranium supply agreement, a move that would secure India's energy future while providing Canada with a stable market outside of North America. However, the road to this reset has been paved with delicate diplomacy. Veena Najibullah, a leading voice on Indo-Pacific strategy, shares her insights on the shift in Canadian foreign policy under the Carney administration.
It is a very significant trip. It will allow to consolidate the reset that the two prime ministers initiated last year on the margins of the G7 here in Canada. It will also allow to elevate and expand the partnership. So elevate the relationship and expand the partnership in areas not only around economic and commercial engagement, but also cultural ties, technology, innovation, discussions, educational ties, as well as people-to-people and defense ties. So it's a really robust agenda that the Prime Minister has. He'll be meeting, of course, with Prime Minister Modi and other government officials, but also with the business community, and he'll be speaking about Canada's overall foreign policy vision, as he did in Davos with his now famous speech, but also about the relationship of Canada and India and where we can go from here. So there are a number of tracks. We will see some progress on the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, which both sides confirmed that they will be negotiating last year. So that's a really important discussion. Then we'll see some announcements in energy sector. Canadian Energy Minister participated in India's Energy Week at the end of January, so a few things have been prepared for the Prime Ministers to announce. We'll also see announcements in the education sector. We had 21 Canadian university presidents visit India in February, so there are some things being prepared, and I think we'll see announcements around that. We'll see most likely some MOUs and other things around the defense sector. This is a new area for Canada-India engagement. We haven't done too much in the past, but Canada just launched a big defense industrial strategy. It's interested in partnering, including with partners in the Indo-Pacific, around exports as well as co-production. So we'll see where that goes. We also have shared interests around maritime security, of course. Canada has an Indo-Pacific strategy. India was identified as a critical partner in that strategy, but of course things got derailed during the crisis. So this is a time to put that back on track and see what we can do in that sector. I'm also expecting big announcements around AI, innovation and technology, given that we just had the big AI Impact Summit. And again, we had a Canadian delegation, so more will come from that. So I think there will be a number of announcements, but most importantly, this is about rebuilding trust. This is about putting the relationship on a new footing. This is about sharing Canada's foreign policy, new approach to partnerships, and India is going to be a big part of that.
The diplomatic heavy lifting has been happening behind the scenes for months. National security advisors have been working to depoliticize sensitive issues, shifting focus towards predictable institutional mechanisms.
Canadian relations have really undergone a transformation over the last few months, especially after Prime Minister Modi visited Canada to attend the G7 summit in Kananaskis in July of last year. This has set the trend for what is happening now, the visit. The High Commissioners were appointed in the end of September last year, and since the last 4 months, almost 4 to 5 months, we've been working very hard to ensure that the relationship is reset back to what it was before. This is an important relationship because it encompasses all aspects of the relation between two countries. It's a multi-dimensional relationship from AI, innovation, students, energy, you name it, any aspect, including the living bridge, which is a large number of Indo-Canadians, more than 2 million Indo-Canadians, another 1 million Indians, almost 3 million Indians in a population of 42 million. It's a very large community which is very important for us both together. So the relationship, we have worked together the last 5 months. There have been a spate of visits being led by Minister Jaishankar and his counterpart Minister Anita Anandya. Both of them have met 5 times over the last 4 months. You've had Minister Goel and Minister Sidhu discussing, Minister Sidhu visited India, and Minister Goel and Minister Sidhu discussing regularly the contours of the free trade agreement, the comprehensive economic partnership agreement.
From Mumbai's business roundtables to New Delhi's bilateral talks, the agenda is packed. Artificial intelligence, critical minerals, and the formal revival of the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, CEPA. The Carney visit is less about immediate signatures and more about restoring something that was lost over the last 3 years, trust. As both nations look to double their trade to $70 billion by the end of the decade, this week may well be remembered as the moment the India-Canada story finally turned the page.